Welcome to this episode of the Sports Detective Podcast Show. My name is James Williams, and today we discuss why Anthony Davis is becoming the most overrated player in the NBA today. Why are we talking about this? Well, I was planning on doing a video like this about a week ago when the Sacramento Kings beat the Los Angeles Lakers, and we're getting to the point at the end of the season where the play-in playoff race is getting very, very close. It's all going to get decided by about like 2 to 3 games. And these games matter, especially have head-to-head matchups against teams that you can either extend your lead against in the standings or shrinking their lead against you in the standings. And you would think that like the Lakers with the Sacramento Kings just a few games ahead of them, if they win these games, that helps them out tremendously in the standings. And you would think that like since last week the Kings beat them, maybe the Lakers come with a little bit more intensity, animosity, a little bit more of an edge. Well, the Sacramento Kings once again beat the Lakers, and Sabonis once again got a triple-double and outplayed Anthony Davis. Again, this is 2 times in like 8 days. Damontas Sabonis has outplayed Anthony Davis, and I think it's fair to say that Sabonis is just a better player than Anthony Davis. And I kind of wanted to talk about Anthony Davis and how since he's become a Laker and since that 2020 title, he's just become a completely different player. But I just want to have a few notes from that game, and it's not just the stat lines when we talk about this stuff, because I think sometimes in basketball, and the weird thing is too, it's like former players and stuff, or even current players, will get mad about like people just like, well, you guys don't watch the game, you don't understand stuff. But then sometimes I hear former players and they're like, well, I see the numbers here. It's 25, 12, and 4. So blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, the numbers aren't anything. Guys, in that fourth quarter last night, I'm recording this Thursday afternoon. The game was Wednesday night. The Lakers were like trying to come back in that game. And there was a few times where it was down low. The Kings missed a shot, and it's Damontas Sabonis and Anthony Davis fighting for a rebound. There was 2 times in that fourth quarter Sabonis beat Anthony Davis for a rebound. One time it was a tip out that ended up getting tipped out to a teammate who passed it to a Kings player that hit a three. The other time Sabonis just grabbed the rebound over Anthony Davis, hit it out to a shooter. They hit a three. So it's little plays like that are difference in the game. That was a 6-point swing in that game. If Davis gets those rebounds, Lakers go and get baskets on the other end. That you're talking about like a 6 to 10 to 8-point swing in that game that could have been in the Lakers' favor, that would have given them a chance late in that game. But I've been watching a lot of the Lakers since Anthony Davis got there and LeBron James. I've probably watched the Lakers more than I do any other team in the NBA. And when Davis got to the Lakers, a little bit to my chagrin, by the way, the Lakers in crunch time would give the ball to Anthony Davis and they would basically isolate him. Most of the times I feel like it was like on the left side of the court, and they'd basically give him the ball and there would be some sort of center or forward guarding him. And they would basically say like, hey, AD, go get us a basket. That was their crunch time offense. It was like, AD, go get us a basket. You're either going to be so athletic because you're an athletic freak that you're going to be able to drive around this guy, and you're either going to get a dunk or a layup, or if the guy ends up staying with you, you're so good, he's probably going to foul you, and you go to the line, and you're like an 80% free throw shooter, so you're like, we like your chances at the line. We also like your shooting ability, so even if you don't want to drive around that guy, maybe you can create space for a basket, or you can be like a face-up jump shot, and you could be a really effective offensive player like that. And he was a very effective offensive player for the Lakers like that. But if you watch the Lakers now, guys, and I was watching this last night, they don't give Anthony Davis the ball. Like, really, honestly, it feels like never, where they give him the ball and say, AD, get us a basket. They never do that anymore. The guys that create the offense for the Lakers are Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, a little bit now Spencer Dinwiddie since he's there, and LeBron. Usually all of Anthony Davis's baskets now. Now he is having a career high of points in the paint, but that's mostly because it's kind of like just, pick and rolls, kind of like throwing it to Davis like down low and having him score there. He can't shoot the ball anymore, guys. He doesn't shoot. He doesn't shoot. In 2019-20, he averaged 3.5 3-pointers per game, hitting 32% of them. And that was really helpful when the Lakers would like play small with him at the 5 when he first got there, because, late in games, it's like you had to guard everywhere on the court, and you could put Anthony Davis in the corner. You could have him, if you did a pick and roll with him, it's like, it's not, you don't have to worry about, you also have to not just worry about, the pick and him rolling to the basket. You also have to worry about him picking and popping and shooting a 3-pointer. But now, since he doesn't shoot 3-pointers, he's just not. He's still an effective offensive player. If you look at the numbers, he is still an effective offensive player, is averaging like 25 points a game. But isn't that a little concerning when, as we are getting into the 2020s here, and you look around the NBA, everyone's offensive numbers across the league are inflating. And Anthony Davis's are just staying, and if anything, they're kind of trending down a little bit, but anything, they're just staying constant. This is the time of the year, or this is the time in your basketball career where you're supposed to be playing your best basketball. And the thing is here too, guys, he isn't in his 20s anymore. He just turned 31 years old. And the idea is when the Lakers traded for Anthony Davis, gave up all of that stuff for him, that it's like, all right, you're going to have LeBron here. If anything, it was like, hey, LeBron's going to be your kind of like you're going to be the number one star as far as on the basketball court, at least Anthony Davis. And LeBron's going to be your co-star. He'll be the secondary scorer. He will do the little things. He can help create offense. He'll pick his spots, but it's the Anthony Davis show. And frankly, it hasn't been the Anthony Davis show. And you could say the last few years, it's like, hey, he was hurt. You can blame Anthony Davis for that. You could say it's bad luck. You can say that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles sometimes in the NBA. Sometimes you get hurt, miss some games. But he has been healthy this entire year. And he's not going to make an all-NBA team. And I was thinking about as far as like centers in the NBA, I don't know if you could keep him outside of the top 5 for NBA centers because you have Jokic, you have Embiid, obviously. Sabonis is a better center than him. That's just a fact. And then you get into like a weird kind of argument after those 3 where it's like, do you put like, if you call Victor Wembanyama a center, do you put him over Anthony Davis right now? I don't know if you do that quite yet. Bam Adebayo, statistically, Anthony Davis is better. If you wanted to have Karl Anthony Towns as a center, do you have Towns over him? It does get kind of shaky after that. But if you're talking about offensive centers, there's no way he's in the top 5. There's no way he's in the top 5. Offensive skill set, the center position, like you have Jokic, Embiid, Sabonis, Wemby, Towns. Maybe you go Şengün over him too. I know sometimes Anthony Davis can have like a huge ceiling, like I was talking about in the beginning, where he can have like a 27 and 22 game, but it's his nickname, man. It's every other Davis, every other day. Some days he can, carry the team on his back and, just from his sheer ability, have a monster game and carry you to a win. But the only problem with that is that for as many games, it seems like for as many games as he has like a 27 and 25, there's other games where he has like a 14 and 6, or last night where he had like 22 and 11. And it's like, dude, it's Damontas Sabonis, man. You should be dominating him. He shouldn't be getting 19 rebounds over you, especially late in the game where he's getting key offensive rebounds that is extending the Kings' lead, that you could have gotten those rebounds and helped your team win. So I'm not necessarily sure where I would have Anthony Davis ranked in the NBA if you're ranking players, but he's definitely not in the top 10 anymore. And he's definitely not in the top 15. And I'm not sure if he's top 20. We were talking about all-star snubs a few months ago, or about a month ago, when we were talking about NBA All-Stars. And Sabonis definitely got snubbed. And the guy that he's dominated twice over the last week is probably the guy that he got snubbed for. So if you're just talking about ways to fix this, if you're the Lakers, a lot of people have been saying, if you're the Lakers, trade LeBron, build around Davis. Guys, LeBron's still the best player on the Lakers. He is still the best player on the Lakers. And as many people they've been saying, trade LeBron, Anthony Davis is 31 now. His late 20s, he's been riddled with injuries. He's not a top 15 player anymore. Why not trade Anthony Davis? You can get more stuff for him. And I'm not advocating for that. I think there's still a way that you can build around them. But if you're saying trade LeBron, I think you also have to bring up trading Anthony Davis. He's 31 years old now. He's going to start making $60, $65, and $70 million at ages 33, 34, and 35. Hey, I do think if you're the Lakers and you want to salvage this as much as you can, what you have to do is you have to go back to the 2020 model. and you have to completely restructure your team around LeBron and Davis and just say, hey, you guys are making this much money. You're making 50 to 60 million dollars a year. You have to carry the team. If you're going to make that much money, you have to carry the team. And if you look back at that 1920 team, this is how they built the team. They said, LeBron James, you're the point guard. Anthony Davis, you're going to be our scoring forward. And we're also going to take the defensive load off of you a little bit. And we're going to have multiple centers on the team at Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. And basically they said, LeBron, you're the point guard. And we are going to have 3-and-D guys all around you guys. And that's what they did. If you look at all of the guards on those Lakers teams, they had Alex Caruso, they had KCP, they had Avery Bradley, they had Danny Green, all of these different kind of like defenders that you could stick on point guard, shooting guards. Sometimes some of them were big enough to guard small forwards. You could have them guarding Kawhi at times, things like that. And I think that's the recipe. If you're the Lakers and you want to salvage this duo, if there is anything left to salvage, you have to do something like that, because having the offensive backcourt of of Reeves and Russell, I just don't think, or even if you upgrade that Russell position hypothetically, I still don't think that is the best way to succeed. I think if you're the Lakers and you have this nucleus of LeBron and Davis, you have to succeed with defense. You aren't going to out offense teams. You have to succeed with defense and then hope that your offense is good enough in crunch time to win games. So there you have it, guys. There you have it. Anthony Davis, I think he's overrated. I think it's something that like we've been talking about. It's not like he hasn't been getting criticized. I just don't think people, when we talk about it, we've really tried to like rank him. I guess I haven't been looking at too many player rankings, but I feel like most of them would have him in like the top 10 to 15 still. And I don't know if he's that. I don't know if he's that, because obviously he has the ceiling, but he also has an incredibly low floor. He also has an incredibly low floor. So there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. If you got this far in the video, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. We talk NBA, college basketball, NFL, college football, sports media stuff on this show. We love talking sports. And if you hit that like button, hit subscribe, it really helps us out tremendously in the algorithm. Maybe leave a comment what you thought about the video and the content of it. Really help us out. So thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you next time.